Hey, all you cool cats and kittens. Do you guys get that? The real ones know. Um, how's it going, everybody? How's that quarantine life treating you? I'm sitting here in the corner of my classroom by myself, recording videos nonstop every day. Couple of things to talk about. Hopefully, you're all checking Canvas frequently. I'm going to send you all a link to a survey that I'd like you to take. That's just talking about basically how the transition has been from face to face classroom to online classrooms. Just trying to see what your workload looks like right now. Um, Also, going to give you some updates on my life. I've gotten bored, so I signed up on TikTok and I've basically wasted hours of my life watching hilarious videos that are a minute long and they're funny. They're mostly funny videos, and then every once in a while it's like somebody that memorized a dance. So that's great, I guess. I'm gonna try to figure out how to become TikTok famous later. Um, New news: I bought a new vehicle. I no longer have the blue Corolla, so if you see one, don't egg it like you were planning on. Maybe I bought a 2000. I got a Toyota Tacoma. I'm pretty excited about it. It's right there, and yeah, I thought it was a great idea to take out a loan in the middle of a global pandemic while our economy collapses. I made a joke with the loan officer that I probably wouldn't even have to pay this loan back because after everything falls apart, I'll just drive up in the woods, in the mountains, live by myself. And then I immediately apologized to her and asked her to still loan me the money, which she did. Um, okay, those are. Oh, hey, I forgot. I got to put my headphones on so I can hear what I'm doing. But I found out some more tricks. I can't remember if I showed you guys this stuff or not, but I found out what this effect button does. I can change it. So um, here now, I sound like I'm reporting from the past on an old radio station. This is the 1920s, and who is this Jay Gatsby character, and what has he done to accumulate such a massive amount of wealth and throw these wild parties? What could possibly be the motivation? Anyway, I'm having fun with that. Okay, now I'm back. I'm back to normal. Let me see what else I can do. There's this one's annoying. I don't know why anybody would want this effect. Like chops your voice up and makes you like you're stuttering. Apparently this is a female voice is what that sounds like as compared to the male voice is right here, which I've demonstrated to you before. That was what it was before. And now I'm an expert. This makes me sound like an expert, which maybe I'll just leave that one on. No, I'm regular voicing it. Okay, enough goofing around. This is I got to move into a couple of things. Um, Hopefully during this time. So on a serious note, this is my inspirational motivation with Mr. Rarick time. Um, Stay focused on your goals right now. All right. I know this is you've heard it from a bunch of teachers and people. This is a crazy time. I'm gonna take my headphones off. This is a crazy time, crazy situation. It's easy to slip into making this feel like you're on vacation right now. Um, we're relying on you to be intrinsically motivated right now to do your best on everything. And for the most part, I'm really impressed with the ingenuity that you've all demonstrated and the adaptability that you have. I'm doing my best to adapt the curriculum to a distance curriculum to online instruction, and hopefully that's working for you. Um, oh, that's the tardy bell for fifth period. So you're here. Oh, that reminds me. Apologies to first period. I did not get this video done in time for it to be up when you would normally have this class. I know that was the goal, is that I would always have stuff up when you would normally have my class. I don't. There's a bunch of stuff that I'm trying to do, and it's just going to go up when it goes up. And I'm hoping that I'm giving you a big enough window to complete the work that you need to complete. So hopefully you can watch this when you watch it. I'll send out announcements to let you know when stuff's coming up. But um, anyway, use this time. We've in this quarantine, it's been extended. Our economy's grinding to a halt, and there's a lot of things that are happening that are maybe kind of scary. Maybe they seem like overreactions. Regardless, they are what they are. The things are happening that are happening. Um, think about what you can learn from this experience. Is this is going to be your thing. So I think about people, I just talked about the 1920s, the people that grew up after that, they grew up in the Great Depression. Then there was the people that grew up during World War II. Then there was, my generation. We experienced 9/11 when I was a senior in high school, and that was my thing. That was like the point in my life where there was like a before and an after. What was life like before 9/11? What was it like after? I think you're going to experience that with the coronavirus pandemic. What was life like before? What was life like after? And although obviously uh, we don't want a loss of life, we don't want the collapse of the economy, but also does give us the opportunity to learn. And I think we'd be remiss if we didn't learn from this situation. So I wrote down some things that I've thought about since this has happened. And the first one is the world is a much smaller place than it seems. We often hear about things going on in other areas of the world, and it seems like that doesn't matter to me. Well, that's just not the case anymore because of the way the global supply chain works, because of how economies interact with each other, and how technology works. The world is getting smaller, and something that happens on the other side of the planet can have a pretty immediate impact to us. And so, um, the next thing that, after I thought about that, the world's smaller than it seems, the next thing that I thought is how great it is to know that we all matter. Like every individual person matters, and a single person can make a difference and have a dramatic impact on the world. And I hope that you really take that seriously. That might be like a little bit of a cliche, but one person can start a chain of events that lead to um sorry, I guess that last one was the dismissal for fifth period, and that was the 2-minute warning for, or the dismissal for fourth period. That was the 2-minute warning for fifth period to start. But anyway, one person can make a difference. One person can instigate a chain of events that lead to something devastating or great. And so the fact that that power lies within all of us, that's something to take away from this. Um, Another thing that I feel like I've learned from this situation is the importance of education, and that's why we're keeping it going. But a lot of people are in a really tough spot right now, um, career wise, work wise, and the people that are impacted the most are those people that work in the service industry, and those are important people. We need those. We need people that do those jobs in our society. But I also see, um, just from a personal perspective, how I feel like I'm incredibly lucky to have the career that I have. And the only way that I got that career was through higher education. And, with teachers, there's often this stigma that teachers are underpaid, and it's not a very desirable position. And in fact, there's a lot of like data that shows that fewer and fewer people are choosing to go into the teaching profession because it's a pretty demanding job with work that has a relatively similar amount of demands. Typically pays better, but um, one, I love it. Two, I feel like I'm making a difference. And three, in a situation like this, I'm pretty grateful to have a job that requires me to continue working. Okay, now fifth period starting. It requires me to continue working, but also not just requires like out of obligation, but requires because it allows me to provide you all with an opportunity to have a better future. Um, so, with that being said, what you are doing right now is incredibly important. And while sometimes it may seem like, some of these assignments, I'm doing my best not to make them feel like busy work. I'm hoping that everything we do, I hope that you see a pattern in everything that we do, and that it should be developing a skill, and then you practice that skill and you develop the next skill, and then we're going to combine all of those skills together and produce something that is of value. But regardless, what you're doing right now is incredibly important work. Your ability to fight through this and still get an education, it shows how resilient you are as a generation. And it's really setting you up for being able to solve problems in the future that we don't even know exist right now. Okay, we didn't know that we were going to have to deal with this right now. And instead of it devastating us, as in the education area, because of your abilities as students and your willingness to continue to work, we're able to overcome an obstacle that we didn't even know that we were facing. And that lesson that you're learning right now, there's going to be something that happens later on in your life that you don't even know about. I don't know if you remember, it's an unknown unknown. It's something that we don't know that we don't know. And you're going to be able to handle it because you've gained experience handling an unknown unknown, and now handling a known unknown. All right. Okay, that's my motivational talk for right now, my TED talk. Now I got to talk to you about some assignments. First, I'm going to be getting grading caught up. I've been having all kinds of technical problems. I'm trying to get Canvas to communicate with PowerSchool, but for now, just know that what's in Canvas is accurate and what's in PowerSchool isn't. But I'm going to get your grading caught up. And now I need to explain the next assignment to you. So here we are on the modules. So I know that when I change the home page, so when you go to my Canvas page, you'll see this, and this is actually where I'm going to put the newest video. But when you click on modules, it's going to bring up, there, I finally clicked on it. It's going to bring up this module that says fourth quarter, and you should see this, and you'll probably see a couple of these assignments as well. You won't see all of these unpublished ones. But the assignment that I want to work on with you right now is analysis writing graded student practice. Okay, and you can see it's worth quite a bit of points. It's worth 90 points. When you click on it, it says read the following essays written by students who took the 2018 AP exam. And that's right here, the Madeline Albright student writing samples. So I had you break down the Madeline Albright piece for your last assignment. Now you're going to see what other students focused on when they wrote about that. So when you click on this, it should open up into a shared document that I've given you. And you can see here, you've got these student writing samples. So I want you to read these student writing samples. And there's 12 pages, but not all of the pages have full writing on them. And some of them you can see, like, that's a full essay right there. This is a full essay right there. That's a full essay right there. That's a full essay right there. Okay, so you're going to read through those. All right. Then your next step is, I actually need to change the wording. You're going to determine a grade for 3 of the student essays. Okay, and I'm going to fix that. Okay, so it says use this rubric to determine a grade for 3 of the student essays. So right here, when you click on that, I'm hoping it opens for you. Okay, it should open this document. And you can see this is the rubric for a rhetorical analysis on the AP exam, and it's worth 6 points. And there's 3 sections. So you've got row A, and it's either 0 or 1 point. Okay, and they give you rules for how to score it. Row B is 0, 1, 2, 3, or 4 points, and here are the rules for achieving each of those scores. And then row C is 0 or 1 point again, and here are the rules for achieving that. Okay, when you go back to Canvas, it says complete this chart and submit for points. So what you're going to do right now is I put the wrong link in here. Okay, I've created a chart that looks like this when it loads on my screen. I'm going to put it on here. But anyway, you can see I've got the 9 student sample essays right here. They're labeled by letters. You're going to choose one between H, F, and A, one between D, I, and G, and one between B, E, and C. And you're going to give it a score in category a score in category B, and a score in category C. And you're going to say why it received the score that you gave it. So you can just write one sentence. So it either for row A, it either got a 0 or a 1, whatever you gave it, then write a sentence explaining why you gave it that score. Same thing with row B. You've got a 0, 1, 2, 3, or 4, and then a sentence explaining why it received that score. Row C is the same. And I'm actually going to insert a column to the right, and you're going to say the total score. Okay, you don't need to put a sentence in this last one. I just want to see what the total score is. All right. So hopefully that makes sense. Let me fix this link right here. Let me get a copy. Okay, now we're saving it. So just to recap, you're going to open the first link. You're going to read the student writing samples. Then you're going to look at the rubric for how to grade those writing samples. And then you are going to perform grading on 3 of those essays. And the reason this is worth 90 points is each one of these boxes is worth 10 points. And so you see you've got 9 boxes right here. Okay, you're going to highlight which of these you graded. And then after you submit these, I'm going to share the actual grades with you, and you can see how close you are on what your expectation is and what the reality is. Okay, and then we're soon headed towards you actually producing your own essay. But I wanted you to see these different essays first and see what makes a high quality essay, what makes a mediocre essay, and what makes a low quality essay. All right, this has been a long video, but that's your assignment for right now, and it is due on Sunday. And email me if you have any questions, and be on the lookout for that survey that I post on here. All right, thanks all. Over and out.